The Israel-Arab Wars, a series of conflicts that have unfolded in the turbulent landscape of the Middle East since the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948, have had profound and lasting implications for the region and the world. Israelis often refer to the 1948 conflict as the War of Independence or 1948 Arab-Israeli War, emphasizing the establishment of the State of Israel. Palestinians commonly use the term Nakba, which means catastrophe in Arabic, to describe the events surrounding the establishment of Israel in 1948 and the displacement of Palestinians. In this video, we will delve into the main events and developments in one of the most persistent conflicts in modern history. On May 14, 1948, the United Kingdom ended its mandate over Palestine after a UN resolution divided the territory between Arabs and Jews. Israel declared independence that day, leading to immediate conflict with neighboring Arab states. Arab nations, including Egypt, Syria, Transjordan, and Iraq, launched an attack on Israel in an attempt to crush the newly formed nation. Despite their numerical advantage, Israel's determination and counterattacks helped turn the tide. The war ended in January 1949, with Israel gaining control of West Jerusalem and 20% of the designated Palestinian territory. The Arab population within Israel decreased significantly due to violence and massacres, leading to the displacement of many. Remaining Arab territories were absorbed by neighboring countries, with Egypt controlling Gaza and Transjordan, now Jordan, administering most of the West Bank, including Jerusalem. The Suez Canal, a crucial 150-kilometer waterway linked to the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea, playing a vital role in trade and military operations. When Egypt sought control of the Suez Canal, Britain and France, major stakeholders, devised a plan to intervene and overthrow President Nasser. Israel and their advisory got involved. Israel had several motives to join the 1956 conflict. Post-1948, with a surge of 900,000 refugees, the region saw unrest. Water disputes and border clashes strained relations with neighbors. An arms race emerged with Arab states acquiring Soviet arms and Israel receiving US aid. In 1956, Nasser's nationalization of the canal and blockade of Israel's Red Sea passage ignited tension. A significant Egyptian military presence in Sinai troubled Israel. Israel's surprise attack on Egypt on October 29, 1956, captured Sinai and Gaza. France and the UK intervened, but withdrew under US and USSR pressure. The Suez Crisis weakened imperial influence, intensified Arab-Israeli tensions, boosted Egypt's reputation, highlighted US regional importance, and laid groundwork for the Eisenhower Doctrine. In June 1967, Israel launched a surprise attack on Egyptian airfields, quickly gaining control of the skies and initiating the Six-Day War. Israeli forces then seized territories, including the Sinai Peninsula, Gaza Strip, West Bank with Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights, defeating Egypt, Jordan, and Syria. Despite being outnumbered, Israel's military had experienced leadership and effective intelligence. This swift campaign neutralized Israel's enemies, establishing it as a dominant regional power. The war ended on June 10, 1967, with Israel in control of significant territories. In the summer of 1967, Arab leaders met in Khartoum to discuss their common stance towards Israel in the ongoing conflict. They reached a consensus as follows: no recognition of the State of Israel, no peace with Israel, no negotiations with Israel. In 1969, Egypt initiated the War of Attrition with the goal of weakening Israel and forcing them to surrender in the Sinai Peninsula. The war ended with the death of Gamal Abdel Nasser in 1970. In 1973, the military forces of Egypt and Syria launched a surprise attack on Israel during the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur, with the goal of regaining the territories lost during the Six-Day War. However, this invasion ultimately failed due to Israel's strong resistance. For Israel, although they achieved a successful counterattack in the later stages of the conflict, heavy losses in terms of weapons and manpower made them realize the need for peace negotiations with the Arab bloc. In accordance with the 1978 Camp David Accords, mediated by the United States, Israel returned the Sinai Peninsula to Egypt. In return, Egypt officially recognized the State of Israel and withdrew from the anti-Israel alliance. In 1964, the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, was founded with the initial goal of eliminating Israel through armed struggle, primarily operating from Egypt. After relocating Jordan and South Lebanon, PLO launched attacks on Israel. In 1982, following a failed PLO assassination attempt on an Israeli diplomat, Israel initiated a military operation in Lebanon. PLO was swiftly defeated, and its headquarters moved to Tunisia. In the early 1990s, international efforts began. The 1993 Oslo Accords saw PLO recognize Israel and renounce violence, while Israel recognized PLO as the Palestinian people's representative. Despite opposition from groups like Hamas, the Accords marked a shift towards a two-state solution, though peace remained elusive. PLO leader Yasser Arafat passed away in 2004, and a year later, the Second Intifada movement ended, leading to the dismantling of Israeli settlements in the Gaza Strip. Israeli troops, along with 9,000 settlers, left the area. A year later, Palestinians held their first ever general elections, with Hamas winning the majority of seats. However, a Fatah-Hamas internal conflict erupted, lasting several months and resulting in the deaths of hundreds of Palestinians. Hamas expelled Fatah from the Gaza Strip, and Fatah, the leading party of the Palestinian Authority, regained control over the West Bank. In 2007, Israel imposed a blockade on Gaza by land, sea, and air, citing Hamas as a terrorist organization. Prior to the current conflict, Israel conducted 4 prolonged military offensives in Gaza in the year 2008, 2012, 2014, and 2021. Thousands of Palestinians lost their lives, and tens of thousands of homes, schools, and office buildings were destroyed. In 2012, the United Nations passed a resolution upgrading the status of the Palestinian Authority to non-member observer state. This change in status was described as recognizing the practical sovereignty of the Palestinian Arab state. The current peace process continues to face numerous obstacles, with parties opposing the two-state solution, particularly the extremist Hamas movement in Palestine. Recent events suggest that this protracted decade-long conflict may be far from reaching its conclusion.
Thank you for joining us on History on Maps. Please give us a thumbs up and share this with others. Stay tuned for more captivating videos of the history on our channel.